Hey guys, what's up? We're back with another video, and in this week's video what we want to do is a cost comparison between probably the most popular device there is when it comes to closed systems, the Juul, and using those pods or maybe third-party pods and comparing that to other devices and using 30 mils of nicotine salt. So let's get the intro going and then we'll dive into this and show you a bunch of different price comparisons and see if maybe switching would save you money. Let's go. Alright, before we get started, let me go ahead and ask if you like this video at the end, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit subscribe. We're back at it. We're making videos every week. So, back to this week's topic. We're going to be looking at the most popular device, which is the Juul. I use the Juul. I like it. I also use Surin Air. Currently using the Surin Vagon a little bit. I've used the Mi Pod, as well as the Breeze 2, and plenty of others. So what we're going to take a look at here is the monthly cost of, say, a Juul user who uses Juul pods versus a Juul user who's using maybe a third-party pod like the Zip pods, and then maybe somebody who's using like a Surin Air or a Mi Pod and filling it up themselves. We're also going to take a look at the pros and cons of all the different systems. Again, I'm not here to trash talk any one of the types of devices. I use them all myself. We've compiled some different types of information and taken a look at the monthly breakdowns for each device over a month, and so we want to share those with you and see if maybe we can help you save some money. So as you can see here on the screen right now, this is a quick little chart that we put together, and what we're showing here is all based on a user using 1 mil of juice per day. Okay, so that would be like you're using a full Juul pod a day plus maybe a single Zip pod a day, or 1 mil of, let's say, like some sort of nic salt. So we can start on the far right. This is the Juul system with Juul pods. Now we've estimated that the price per pack of Juul pods is about $16 nationwide. That's not the price here in California, but we gave the benefit of the doubt and said about $16 a pack. Based on usage of 1 mil per day, the average user is going to go through about 10.7 packs of Juul per month. And at $16, you're looking at about $171 a month. Now, if we move over to Juul with Zip pods, again at 1 mil, the difference between Zip and Juul is Zip pods do come with 1 full mil, whereas Juul is only using 0.7. So with the Zip pods, you would be using about 7.5 packs per month. And the cost for that, since Zip pods are only $11, you would be looking at $82.50 a month. Finally, on the far left, we've taken a couple different things into consideration with the refillable system. Basically, a 30 mil, 30 days worth of liquid, is $20. The other thing that we have to consider is that you are going to be replacing the cartridges. You get an average of about 5 refills per cartridge. And the pods or cartridges are $5 a piece. So based on that, we're looking at about $15 in cartridges. So as you can see, the refillable pod systems are cheaper to use. Next up would be the Zip pods and then Juul pods. Now here in California, we didn't mention it, but Juul pods everywhere else seem to be about $16. Here in California, they're about $25, and that would drive your monthly up to $267 a month, which is a lot. So as you can see from that chart, money-wise, the refillable, kind of fill it up your own nicotine salt system is probably the cheapest way to go. Those devices can run anywhere from $20 all the way up to $45 for something like a Mi Pod. But in the long run, you're gonna save money on the liquid. I would say like the lifespan between a Juul device and one of these other devices is the same. It'll last anywhere from 3-6 months, depending on usage. That's what I've personally gotten out of my devices, is usually 3 to 6 months, which for a $20 device, I expect to replace it every 3 to 6 months. Now, we can't just consider money alone. I mean, some people can. But maybe money isn't as big of an issue for you, so we've also compiled just like a simple pros and cons list about the different devices. And like I said earlier, I use the Juul. It's got a lot of pros. I really, really like the size and convenience of it. And sometimes I don't want to mess around with anything else. I just want to run out of the house, throw something in my pocket quickly, and that's when I might grab a Juul. Okay, so as you can see on the screen here, we've got some pros for the Juul. Number one, makes the most sense. It's easy to use. You simply just plug in a pod and draw on it. And that's all there is to it. It's really easy to use. It's very convenient. I've helped a lot of my older friends who maybe didn't want to fiddle around with a bunch of stuff. I've supplied them with the Juul, and they've been able to quit cigarettes relatively quickly. Other thing is it's readily available. You can get it anywhere you are in the country, and most gas stations carry it, and as well as probably a lot of smoke shops and stuff like that. Juul also has a very good warranty. I believe it's a 1-year warranty. It's very easy to file a claim. There's a serial number on every device. They make that very simple. It's also pretty reliable. Yes, at some point it'll start to fall apart a little bit, but I've had a lot of success with just cleaning the device regularly. And by doing that, I've had the device, a Juul system, last me 6 months or so. And again, you can use the warranty if it goes bad during that first year. Final pro that we kind of have for the Juul is it gets the job done. It really does make a transition from smoking regular cigarettes to starting and vaping very simple, as well as for experienced vapors like myself. I can just take a Juul with me. I don't have to take a bunch of other devices, and I feel like the Juul satisfies my nicotine craving easily. Some of the cons that I would like to point out for the Juul are it can be expensive. Yes, it's super duper convenient, but there is a price tag that goes along with that convenience. Another thing is the limited amount of flavors. Currently, there's only 5 flavors on the market for Juul, maybe 6 or 7 if you consider the extra menthol and the extra tobacco flavor, but those are just variants of other flavors. Basically, it comes down to 5 flavors, as well as they only have 1 nicotine strength. Now I know they're coming out with a 3%. I believe it's 3%, and that's happening. But up until now, for the past couple of years, it's only been the 5% option. Another thing to consider is Juul's proprietary charger. It's kind of a headache. If you lose that charger, you're SOL. You will have to replace that charger in order to charge your device. It's not, and also the charger is not readily as available as maybe the Juul is. I don't know if gas stations and stuff are carrying just extra chargers. I know we sell them, but I'm not sure how many shops are selling those. It's also very easy to get addicted to the Juul. If you were someone who didn't smoke cigarettes and you are now using a Juul, I could see you getting addicted to the nicotine very quickly. 5% is not a low nicotine strength, and you can build up a dependency on that quickly. Now, if that's not something that bothers you, I'm not here to debate, the health risks of nicotine addiction, but if that's something that you're concerned about, the Juul is probably not the best device until those lower nicotine strengths do come available. Instead of making a whole chart for the next part, the zip pods are pretty much identical. The benefit to zip pods is they come in lower nicotine strengths. There is like a 1.8% option, as well as I've been told they are coming out with a 0% option. Other than that, the only other benefit over the Juul pods is the price point. It's a little bit cheaper, and they do have some different flavors. I guess going back to Juul pods, there are other third parties where there is some different flavors. So Juul sells 5, Zip has 5, but there are other brands who have other flavors as well. Some of the pros of using a cartridge or pod system. First is the affordability. A $20 bottle of juice will last you a month. Add a few cartridges in there, and we're really starting to see the savings from when we used to smoke cigarettes versus now. It's also a lot cheaper than using a standard traditional vape, because a traditional vape, you will go through a 60 ml of juice in a few days to a week, whereas a 30 ml of these Nic Salts will last a full month. There's also lots of options. There's plenty of devices out there on the market, and there's more coming out constantly. so you can find a device, a shape, a size, something that you like that's dependable and will work best for you. Also, when it comes to the flavors, compared to Juul's 5 flavors, with nicotine salts, there's already hundreds of flavors available. Lots of different brands are starting to bring to market their nicotine salt brand, and with that comes different flavors, complex flavors, layered flavors. It's not just single note mango, but it might be some sort of mango strawberry mint or something like that. So if you enjoy a more complex flavor, that might be something that you're interested in. Also, if you're all about taking care of the environment and reducing waste, that would be another pro on this sort of system. One single cartridge is going to last much longer than, say, like Juul pods. Juul pods, we're throwing away the empty pods maybe every day. These pods will last about a week, every 10 days or so. So less waste overall. Some of the cons of these types of systems, let's just be honest, they require a little more work to get started than a Juul. A Juul, we just pop in the pod and vape away and we're good to go. With these devices, we do need to fill them up with the liquid, and then it's essentially a Juul system. Same amount of work. So the only increase in work is you do have to fill up your own pods, which is very simple. I'll have a video up above where you can take a look and see how to fill up your pods, but it's really not that difficult. It's probably, another con is it's probably not as readily available as the Juul. Juul is in almost every major gas station, I think, now, and it's just growing and growing. Nicotine salts, you are going to have to either go online, plug elevatedvaping.com, or to another online shop, or you're going to have to go to maybe a local vape shop to find some nicotine salts. But once you do, it's well worth it. And finally, one of the big cons is not all of these devices are equal. Some are made from less quality construction. They don't last as long. They leak easier. So I recommend you do your research and find which device works best for you. Well, guys, I hope this video helps answer some of the questions you have. It shows you the different costs associated with different types of products that you decide to use. But again, it comes down to preference. Whatever works best for you is the best. With that being said, we're going to give one lucky person a Me Pod this week. Go ahead and drop a comment down below. Let us know that you want to win it. We will choose one random person a week from now, and that person will win a Me Pod on us. And also, if you think that switching from Juul pods or Zip pods to one of these systems might be a good idea for you, we're also going to have 20% off at our online shop for a limited amount of time. We'll put details down below, so read the caption. We'll also have a discount code in there, so you can get 20% off if you're interested in making the switch. Again, if you enjoyed this video, giving it a thumbs up would mean a lot to us. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so now, and we will see you at the next video.